Hi, let's talk about A-B testing. A-B testing is widely adopted by all big technology companies including Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook and Google. They have taken A-B testing so seriously that they have centralized organizations to build and maintain their own platforms for all of their product teams to use. This video series is an intro to A-B testing, and we are going to be seeing what is A-B testing, applications of A-B testing, and finally why do we need A-B testing. Welcome to Experimenter Club. Let's get into the video. So what is A-B testing? Let's just say that you are a product manager in Netflix and your production studio developed a new Netflix original movie. You are asked to choose a catchy cover art for this movie to include in the Netflix app. You are given two different choices, choice A and choice B. Which one would you choose? Just go ahead and pick one. Now, how sure are you with this decision? This decision is very important for the movie launch. So are you really sure? Will you go ahead and bet $10 million of production budget on this decision? Probably not, which is why Netflix used A-B testing to make this decision smartly for them. With a very simple experiment, Netflix figured out that the first version provided 14% higher take rate compared to the second version. This probably translated to hundreds and thousands of additional clicks for Netflix just with a simple A-B test and without spending an additional dollar on marketing. So through this, I hope you can understand what is A-B testing. A-B testing is a method that uses statistics to compare two different versions of something, can be a new web page or a feature, to figure out which one performs better with your customers. You might have heard different names for A-B testing like A-B-N testing, split testing, multivariate testing, conversion rate optimizations, or online experimentation. With very minor differences, all of these mean the very same thing. Let's now talk about how to perform an A-B test. There are 5 different steps to conduct a successful A-B test. Let's go through them. Step 1. We need to define what we are testing and what we are trying to improve. Let's just take a hypothetical scenario to make it easier. You are part of a Netflix product team and you are launching a new recommendation feature to guide your customers on what to watch next. So let's just define the feature first. It's adding a new recommendation page into your app. And let's also define your objective. You want to learn if the new recommendation feature is helping your customers or not. So usually this equates to your engagement goals. Netflix would like to measure if the new users who are using this feature is going to watch more movies compared to the people who are not using this feature. Step 2 is selecting sample users for your experiment. We might have more than 100 million users in Netflix, but the point of experimentation is to reduce the risk by testing the new experience with a limited set of users before we are confident about the experience and rolling out to 100% of our users. So this sampling is usually done randomly using a randomization algorithm. This is very critical because we do not want to introduce any bias into how we select our customers for the experiment. Step 3 is to split the users into two different groups. We must again use a randomization algorithm to evenly split the sample into two groups with 50% of customers in each. Group A is often called a control group, which will receive the existing user experience, and Group B is often called the treatment group, which will receive the new recommendation page. Step 4 is to launch the experience and collect your metrics. Experiments are usually run for a week or two to collect enough data, so be prepared for this waiting period. For this particular experiment, we are interested in comparing the engagement of customers between these two groups. So we will want to store the number of Netflix movies streamed by these users over the next few days. The last step is to analyze and finalize your winner. After the experiment is concluded, you will want to look at your metrics for your results. In this example, the second experience seemed to have performed much better. The average movie streamed increased from 3.2 titles to 4.1 titles. So that is 28% lift in this metrics. If you think about it, this is a phenomenal improvement for Netflix. Imagine that your users are suddenly consuming more of your content without spending one additional dollar in marketing or advertisements. This type of growth by improving your product features is usually called as product-led growth. Let's talk about one more metric here, which is p-value. You might have heard this term already. I will make more videos on statistical concepts later, but for the scope of this video, the purpose of p-value is to measure whether the outcome happened by a random chance or not. Because the A/B testing is conducted on a sample set of customers, not all the customers, there is always room for errors. Lower the p-value, lower is this error. As an industry standard, we allow up to 5% false positive errors or a p-value of less than 0.05 so that the results can be called statistically significant. If you see a p-value of more than this, it is likely that you need to add more customers to your experiment or run your experiment for a longer period of time. Let's also look at a reverse scenario for this. Imagine that your results are completely reversed. Let's say that the average movie streamed decreased from 3.2 titles to 2.7 titles, or in other words, there is 16% decrease in the lift. Under that scenario, you will not want to launch the second experience. You will want to stick to the first experience, which is control experience. But here is the real question. If this happens, would you call your experiment a failure? I most definitely would not. Let's be clear, the experiment itself was properly run and it's a success, but only the outcome is not what you expected. Without running this experiment, there is no way you would have known which version is better. You might have launched a wrong experience to your customers and blew up your metrics, but the experiment helped you to stop that from happening. So I will call this a success for your business. In fact, for most big tech companies, only 1 out of 5 experiments lead to lifts that are practically significant for them. But that one experiment is enough to pay for the engineering effort taken to invest and build all those 5 experiments. So my point is, the real essence of experimentation is continuous learning. Experiments will help you to make smarter product decisions using statistics and science. This is why you would see big technology companies run hundreds of experiments every single day so that they can methodically learn about their customers and their product features to make smarter decisions for their business. I hope that you got a good overview of what is A/B testing. Let's look at applications of A/B testing in our next video. If you want me to post more videos on A/B testing, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. That's what will support me to make more videos. Let me know in comments what you would like to learn next, and I will see you in the part 2 of Intro to A/B Testing series. See you until then.